Have your kids learn your family history through interviewing relatives for a fun summer activity. Each person has a unique background full of different cultural influences and their own lived experiences. Our relatives hold a wealth of stories about where and how they grew up, and it is interesting to uncover your past through having conversations and listening to what others have to say. Take the time to learn from the stories and wisdom your relatives can offer in order to grow through gaining their perspective on life. Have your children interview a few of their relatives and obtain their stories. They will listen to the lived history of their family members and ask questions along the way. Help your children to identify cultural influences that have shaped their past through their relatives' stories. This is a valuable activity where children can learn a great deal at any age. At all ages, kids are able to gain a new understanding and perspective from listening to their relatives' stories. Ideally, have your child meet with in person or call the family member that they have chosen to interview. Have your children focus on the meaning of that story and the takeaways present which they could apply to their own life. Your children will make a video containing important life lessons these new perspectives have given them. Obtaining old photos will make the video more interesting, and your child could also add video clips of the interview if they would like. Next up is my video I made after interviewing my grandma. The most important lesson I learned from interviewing my grandma was to surround myself with people that make me happy and bring a smile to my face. For her, this was always my grandpa and the family they started. As we were talking, my grandma was pulling boxes of old photographs off the shelves, and I swear there wasn't one photo where she didn't have a contagious smile on her face. I asked my 87-year-old role model to explain some of the stories of the photos I was looking at. The two photos on the top are my grandma, and the one below is her mother, my great-grandma. My grandma remembers this day because they had just gotten a new car, which was a luxury in 1945 when there weren't even highways to drive on yet. My grandma could talk for hours about my grandpa, and it is so clear how much they loved each other from such a young age. They met when they were young. Both of their families had immigrated to America from Germany, and they ended up living in the same town. They eventually started dating shortly after graduating high school. My grandma remembers them growing up together as best friends, and their love flourished from there. They both adored nature and made being outdoors a big part of their lifestyle, which eventually became part of their children's lives as they hiked and biked all over the world. They raised 5 children and were happily married for almost 70 years until my grandpa passed away a few years ago. My grandma's story has taught me that life can be amazing and joyful if you experience it with the right people. She has taught me the value of true love, and her happiness could be felt while she remembered memories from long ago. What did you learn from your family? Were there any meaningful takeaways that you can apply to your life? That's all for now. Find us on social media. We'd love to hear from you.